Welcome back aboard Blurred Force One with your boys Mo and Lottie. And today we are reviewing Loki Season 2, Episode 4. It's entitled Heart of the TVA. It's coming to you from Disney Plus. So, what did we think about it, and should you be watching? And before we get into the review, get down there, hit like on this video. Lottie, man, the TVA is jacked up. It is running. It is staying together like on duct tape and prayer. But you know what? We got Victor Timely, and we got OB, and that should be enough, right? We got Eugene. That should be enough to keep everything together, right? Oh well, wait a minute. Miss Minutes is still salty because she couldn't be a sex robot, and Ravonna Renslayer is mad because she should have been leading by the side of Kang, but instead had her mind wiped. She mad. She real mad. So they got to come.
Can I quickly say this? Which, in my opinion, when I saw that, I was just like, really? Are you shocked? Like, I'm like, oh, that's what, man. Are you shocked?
She was big mad. Look, she got ghosted. Literally, she got the most ghosted. She got so ghosted she didn't even know she knew this guy. She didn't know he existed. That's which, by the way, that's a hell of a bit of speculation. You know what, Lottie? I asked you first, but I'm gonna tell you straight up. This is my favorite episode of this season. I've been wondering up to this point. I'm like, yeah, this is cool and all, but like, it hadn't really got me. This episode got me. It got me good. You know what? It got me so good. It didn't even get me in the parts where you would expect. You know the scene. My favorite scene in this whole episode was just a very tense conversation between Loki and Sylvie, in the pie room. This episode was so good. It had a little bit of everything. So anyway, Lottie, what'd you think?
First of all, I know this is not really spoilers, but you deserve to have the phone picked up.
Oh, what did I call?
You know exactly what you don't remember what you called last review?
You know what? I don't. If I had
you remember I was saying, oh, we could get a good character, and you're like, I don't think he lasts very long.
Yeah, I was like, no, it's like, no, he is not gonna make it. There's no way. Oh my God, my man went out. My man went out like a plate of ragu.
That was, oh my God. We'll talk about that as spoilers, but yeah, I like this episode. Best episode of the season. Again, just so pissed off. Just like, remember you saw the text when I said Attack of the Karens Part 2. Just god dang, man. I'm just like, are y'all still this mad?
Miss Minutes done had hundreds of thousands of years to be hot about this.
That is a bitch, man. Especially the part, I was not expecting that to be in a Disney Plus show. That was kind of gruesome.
This shit was like an episode of Maury. Like the ex-girlfriends teamed up. I was like, God dang, dog. They rolling. Who else you gonna roll out? It was messed up. But to be fair, He Who Remains was a dick. Like,
yes, but damn, old dude is not him, man.
Oh, close enough. You got to take it out on his cousin, I guess. I don't know. Let's talk about actually He Who, because at the very beginning, it's not a big scene, to be honest. It's, she's watching a memory of something that happened that she forgot about, or that was erased from her. It's not a huge scene, but there's huge implications. That He Who Remains, he created the TVA, right? Mm-hmm. But apparently, he's the only one of the Kangs to create the TVA. I thought there was going to be competing TVAs, different Kangs with different TVAs,
I thought
and they were going to be at war. But it seems like creating the TVA was He Who Remains' masterstroke that helped him actually win the multiversal war, which is interesting as shit to me, because I'm like, okay, Renslayer was the general of his armies. Everyone in the TVA was a warrior. They were fighting this big, multiversal war across time. And then when it was all said and done, he reset everyone's memories and erased any knowledge of himself, in order to preserve the sacred timeline and to keep them preserving the sacred timeline. And I was talking to Jennifer, and I was like, this shit is interesting as hell, because that stadium full of Kangs we saw at the end of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, they existed before the multiversal war ceased to exist, and once he died and the sacred timeline was blew up, they exist again. So it's this weird, like, you have to think about time and everything in a certain way, where the Kangs, they're not dependent on time. The only thing that was dependent, that kept those other Kangs around, was He Who Remains existing. And once he failed to exist anymore, now all of them get to come back into being. And so shit is just interesting as hell. I love this show for making me think about, it's such a sci-fi concept, and I love that they're executing it in such a good way.
And then the TVA just showed you, like the Infinity Stones. When they said the Infinity Stones ain't shit to them, they meant it.
Like,
Infinity Stones ain't shit.
Well, I think that was another thing, because He Who Remains is brilliant, and Victor Timely is brilliant, because we see OB learned everything he could from him. He's a closed loop. There's a closed time loop going on here. He learned everything he knew from Victor Timely, and Victor Timely learned everything he knew from OB. And they had like a nice little mutual, hey, you're the best. Can I have your autograph, sort of thing. But what's interesting there is that Victor Timely ultimately does create the machinery of the TVA, but his variant Kang has to create the TVA so that he can create the machinery that runs the TVA. So remember I said this is like crazy sci-fi shit. Like there's a closed time loop. There's a time loop dependency that Kang, He Who Remains, can't actually win the multiversal war without Victor Timely. That's why he sent that TVA book to him back in the past. There's so much going, like, I love that shit. I just love it.
Yeah. This is crazy that there's a lot of like different stuff happening that, he had a backup plan to recreate to basically recreate himself, to make sure that he comes back. Then on top of that, well, that should have happened, and he's dead because he got turned into, like you said, ragu pasta.
Well, that's the deal though. Like, think about it this way. Remember what I said? Victor Timely didn't create the TVA. He Who Remains created the TVA. But He Who Remains didn't create the machinery that runs the TVA. Victor Timely did. He had to create Timely. He had to give Timely the book so that he could be the person that did the machinery. The fact that he died later on is not terribly relevant. He just needs to make sure that he started that, that closed loop. That's it. It's this is the sort of thing I wanted to be talking about 2 episodes ago. There's other shit going on. Sylvie and Loki sort of having a heart to heart, which I guess is my favorite scene of the episode, because they're talking about, free will, who's responsible for, she created free will. She took everyone out of the sacred timeline. There's free will, but she doesn't want to shepherd it. And Loki's like, no, we're responsible. We've got to, kind of have the TVA look over things to protect everything. And I love remember the part where she was like, you want us to play God. And I swear to God, I was like, all right, if you don't say we are gods, this is like, what's the point of this entire scene? And then he said, and I was like, aha, make me feel smart.
Made you feel.
It was just good. I love that scene. We have not had enough Sylvie and Loki alone, just kind of having it out. We have not had enough of that. And so I was glad that we got that in this episode. Um, more the whole thing with Docs and B-15 trying to get General Docs on her side and everything, and then Renslayer and Miss Minutes show up and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna take this place. You want to come with?" And they're like, "Nah, fuck that shit. You guys suck." And
Okay,
then
we're about to. Uh,
yeah, we could get into this. Is specified spoiler territory because no one gives a fuck about Docs. I don't. It was just she. That whole team was just a good little plot device, and it's cool. I like them, but like they get boxed, like like literally. And I was like, oh, this is one of those times where not seeing it is worse. Am I right? It's just not
yes.
seeing it is worse than seeing it. It was especially when B-15 reacts to seeing it. And I'm just like, okay, this must look like a human pancake or something like that. Ugh.
Fuck yeah. Oh, I was not expecting to see that shit. I'm just like, what the fuck?
Renslayer don't play a Miss Minutes gun could give a fuck. Miss Minutes don't care. She mad. She's still mad about He Who Remained. Not wanting to bone her. So uh Brad sucks, by the way. That dude sucks. Hope he dies bad.
Oh yeah, that and oh man. Let's talk about the deaths.
Yeah,
Brent Slayer.
there's spoilers, yes. Yeah, wait a minute. In fact, this entire fucking episode, when we got to the end of it, I was like, "Are you motherfuckers serious? There's 2 episodes left. How are you doing any of this shit?" Like in this episode, I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be it's gonna be a fight." Nope. Sylvie enchants Brad, and he fucking prunes her, and I was like, "Are you kidding me? What?" That you killed Docs. Wait a minute, you killed Docs and her crew. Then you fucked, and then they rebooted Miss Minutes, so she's dead or dead-ish. They prune Renslayer, and they kill Timely. I'm like, what are y'all? What is happening in this episode? I don't think I've ever seen a TV show blow its load so finally and still have episodes to go. I'm like, where are y'all
Yeah.
going from here? That shit that threw me. I mean, I love this episode, but that threw me something.
Yeah, I was not.
something.
Yeah, the amount of people dying, I did not expect. Like it was like, wait, hold up. They killed this. They killed Victor Tomlin. They killed Miss Minutes is now a fucking automated clock now.
And she ain't even telling good time either.
Exactly. She's dead. It's just like it's crazy,
And worse
man.
off, they were too late with their fucking fix. So the TVA's fucked too. They're like literally the loom blows up, sends a wave of time at them, and that was just the end of the episode. And I was like, you motherfuckers. Ooh. I wanna reach through the I want to do like She-Hulk and reach through Disney Plus and wring their necks. Like, how dare you? It's a great episode. This is the Marvel TV that we've wanted. Am I right about this? Like Loki season 1, I thought was really good. It had a few weak points, but this right here, this episode right here, this is Marvel TV as it should be.
Yeah, I agree. Like I really like this episode. This was top notch. Like I was like, damn, Loki's getting good. Loki's getting good. It seems like Marvel like said all the good writers, Loki. Only because here's the thing. Loki has to be good. And you know why it has to be good? Because it is integral for the movies, like the Kang movies. Loki has to be good. It can't be mediocre. It can't be all right. It has to be a home run.
Yeah.
I'm happy that they're treating it like it's supposed to be. It has to be a home run.
Yeah. My only thing is I wish it had been doing this from the get-go and not like serving it up so hard in this 4th episode. Because up until this point, I was like, this shit had better be good. And I was like, oh, good. It is really good, actually. Great.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me feel better about the previous few episodes. But I'm just wondering, like, why couldn't we get that here? And maybe we had to go through all of those, little detours to get to this particular point. But like, am I wrong? The previous episodes, I didn't feel like shit was so dire. But like in this episode, you're like, nah, if we don't fix this shit now, it's done. And then they fail, and I'm like, wow, like y'all really did that. Okay, I see you, Marvel. I see y'all, what y'all trying to do. Y'all trying to tell Gen V, hold up, let me cook. That's all I'm saying.
They're like, we got some competition because
It's-
Gen V's coming out with the hitters.
Oh yeah, but Marvel said, hey young buck, don't forget where you came from. Don't forget where we been at. So okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right, I see you, Loki. I'm ready. Two episodes left. This shit should be good. So anyway, I think that's all of our thoughts on this episode. But what did you guys think about it, and what did you think about what we had to say? Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there, and of course you can always hit us up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or @supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And while you're down there, leave us a comment. Dang, why am I saying this wrong? I'm saying this completely wrong. All right, let me try it again. 1, 2, 3. And while you're down there, hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff. Helps to grow this channel, helps more people to see reviews just like this. All right, thanks for joining us. Come back next week. We got episode 5 of Loki season 2. It should be a huge episode, so join us for that. Until then, I've been Mo, your commentator extraordinaire on all things pop culture, joined by the anime expert, video game designer, and lover of all things superhero, my good friend Lottie. We'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.
Peace.